Hello world. Welcome back. Today we are going to learn a really important concept in CSS and web development, and that is called box model. Everything in CSS has a box around it, and understanding this box is key to being able to create layouts with CSS, or to align item with other items. So you can move to more complex layout tasks with an understanding of how box model works and the terminology that relates to it. Okay, to tell the truth, I didn't write this paragraph. Okay, this is cite from Mozilla Developer Tool. So I'm gonna put that lesson in the description below if you want to check it. Okay, so where am I? Alright. So let's take a look at this image that I think is great to explain what is box model. And this image is from Khan Academy. So what is a box model? Well, in one word, box model is just a relationship between content, padding, border, and margin. Alright, it's all about only these four things. So, padding is decide what's the distance between the border from the content. And margin is how many border, the distance between border to the actual end of the web page. I know this is kind of hard to understand. So before we go to anything deeper, I'm just going to teach you there's a developer view that you can use in nearly all the browser today. So I'm using Chrome. So what you will do is you're gonna find inspect. Okay, I think right click it and find inspect. Click it. And now you can see everything that I use. Alright, I don't have a Grammarly extension. Okay. So, now take a look off here. Take a look right here. See, this is just a box model. Somewhat simplified version, but nearly everything's same. So this is a content. The padding is the distance of the content. Border is the box, and margin is the distance between border and the end of the web page. Well, everything seems still complex. So we're gonna dig deeper. Now, okay, we're going to dig deeper. So in order to learn, I'm going to type a few code in. So suppose that I have imaginary paragraph. I'm gonna say this is my paragraph that is inside of a box. And hopefully it explains to you what is a box model. Alright. So, I'm going to use this. So let me create an ID. Go to box. Actually, I'm gonna create a class. Then let me go to use dot for class box. Now create with me if you want. So I'm gonna say border is 5 pixel, solid Rebecca purple, and background color, let's say light gray. Padding is 40 pixel. Margin is also 40 pixel. Width is 300 pixel. And height is 150 pixel. So this is my simple paragraph. Now let's take a look. What is actually happening? So what is padding doing in this case? Let me change padding a little bit. I want to change padding. Let's say I want to change padding to 0. Alright, so if padding is 0, what happens? Whoa, you can see the text is now it's touching the box. Alright, this actual box. And if I increase it a little bit, you can see it's also increase the distance. Now I cannot even find where my text is. It's gone. Okay, so I make it too large. So you can see you increase the padding, you increase the content box with a padding box. Okay, so fairly simple for padding. Now let's look at margin. If margin, let me change it to 0 first. Now you can see it's go to this side. So what happening here is I make margin 0. So you say, hey, he doesn't, maybe the creator of this code, this programmer doesn't want us to have any margin, which just means any distance between actual web page. But as you can see, there's still some small distance, which is, well, unless you make margin is none, I believe so, no? Okay, so it still have a little bit margin, but, well, we'll learn how to get rid of these a little bit margin in future videos. Okay, so now we know the margin, now we know the padding. We are introduced to that somewhat you should be familiar, at least from your science and math class, width and height. What is width doing in this case? Well, let me change width to 100. You can see the width is changing, so it's fairly straightforward. It's obviously what is changing. Alright, so everything's fairly simple for width. What height is changing? Well, you will know now. Height is just changing height, right? So, now what all the padding, margin, width, and height is about. And there's a final thing I want to talk about, which is at the top. Border. What is border doing here? You can see there's actually a different color for border. There's some few options that make border. So what is border doing? Let me delete this line of code, see what will be happening. Oh, the whole box is gone now. Alright. But the position of the paragraph is still here, since I just delete the box. Delete the margin, which is, yeah, delete the box to human. Now when I have this back in, as you can see, what this exists, it has three parts. It's 5 pixel, solid, and Rebecca purple. So by the way, it turns out, well, maybe CSS do support lots of color. You can see documentation page if you want. So border is 5 pixels. What 5 pixels doing? Let me make it see if it's 0. What will happen? The box is gone. Why? Let me increase this sign. What is happening? If you didn't see the difference, yes, the border is controlled this side to this side, and the distance between these are 13 pixels. And it's solid, which just means they are straight line. Okay, like this is our straight line. What do you want to say? Hey, how do you make this dashed line then? Fairly simple. If you take a look out here, I spoiler a little bit. Dashed. I just changed it to dash. Well, it's look weird. So I change to solid and Rebecca purple. It's just color. So remember, when you specify border, you must include 3 parts. Alright, So what do you need to include? So you want to include what is. So you want to include what is the distance between the inside border, the inside line and outside line. What is, I'm gonna make a multi-line comment. What is the distance? What format, which is like solid or dashed, and there's a bunch of more. You can see documentation page for more. And what is the color? These are 3 parts you must specify in order to create a border. Alright? So now we understand what border is, what padding is, what margin is, and what content box is. We also know what is width and height. We learned a lot of things today. Alright. So now I'm gonna do a new code. Alright. Sometimes your paragraph just not doing it so well. So I'm not specifically talking about content box. So right now we're going to talk about inline element. Alright, inline element. So I'm going to go ahead and delete off these. Let me see. So I'm going to go ahead and delete off these. And there's still my paragraph. So inside and so this is my paragraph that includes an inline element. Alright. For example, now I'm gonna type new code in. New HTML code span. I don't teach you this. I don't talk about the span in the HTML, intro to HTML. So cause span doesn't really do much if you just paste just take the HTML code. What is interesting is when you're doing it with CSS. So let me customize span style a little bit. So span margin only be 20 pixel. See, it's not moving away from the content box. Padding is also 20 pixel. And width is 80 pixel. 80 pixel. Height is 50 pixel. Background color, I'm gonna say light blue. And finally, border 2 pixel, solid blue. Okay. So I'm gonna move the span actually include an inline element. I'm gonna move it to here. Alright. So for example, alright. So as you can see, this is my span now. Alright, doesn't seem so weird for now. Let me just have more saying is, and let me talk about what is a span, what it's doing. So a span is an inline element, and so it does not respect the width and the height. Alright. Oh, here's the interesting stuff. If I keep typing, for example, let me just copy and paste my paragraph again. Just copy this and then paste. Ooh, now you can see, this time, this does not actually escape. Alright, so they do make some margin. So margin does not necessarily has to be inline element margin does not necessarily has to be to web page. Maybe it just can do to the content box. And since an inline element, it just care about this line and this line. He doesn't care about the line under it. So let's see what is actually happening. So let's take a look about this span. This is my, okay, I'm not gonna read that part. So what is happening? Well, if you actually read what I'm typing, a span is an inline element, and so it does not respect the width and height. So as you can see, now it's just stuck here forever. If I make it even larger, then it's gonna cover everything up. It's gonna cover my caption up, and the text is gonna continue to type through it. Sometimes we want it to be like that, but sometimes we don't. So now, that's why I introduced a new kind of a new feature that's HTML CSS support. It's called display feature. So if I just type inline block, that's what will happen. Ooh, now as you can see, they reserve area for it, so it's have margin all around it. Okay, so what I just click is a Google extension where we can know the pixel. So let's see how many pixels is there. See, there's a 20 pixel here, and there should be 20 pixels somewhere here, and there's pixel right here, and there's a pixel right up there. So now this makes the image more comfortable to read. So when now the paragraph, if you keep typing text, it's just gonna say, hey, span, just stay here, we will move, okay? They will move, so you're not just gonna be stupid just like last time, you just can keep typing, it's going to have some margin around it. Okay, so that's pretty much is all of this video about introduction to box model. And so this is, let's do a quick recap. So I'm just gonna type a quick recap. Let's create H2 recap. So today's recap will be somewhere different than all the other videos, since I want you to be able to answer the following question. What is box model? And how many features are included? What is margin, border, and padding? What are they doing? What are they doing? And how many parts do you need to specify in order to create a border? And finally, what is an inline element and how you use it? Alright? So these 4 questions are the quick recap questions. I hope you can answer it by your own now. If you can't, I'm gonna talk about it on next video. Alright? About these recap question and the recap section next video. And speaking next video we'll talk about is similar to box model. We'll talk about flex bot model. Alright. So, and before I stop this video, I just want to say thank you for anyone who is watching this video and this series. Thank you for subscribing to my channel if you want. And yes, I have a GitHub website. If you want to check out, so I personally programming this live editor code, and if you want to try this out, if you don't want to save anything, just want to try them out, you can go to this website, which will also link in the description. And there's also going to be main content in the dev with me. Also will be down in the description below. If you are rather a blog reading person, not a video person, you can go there and check my post out. And thank you for supporting my channel. And yeah, this is the end of this video.